Okay, so we are in the last few episodes of the season. This is episode 18, and yeah, wow. We've been talking about Desperate Housewives now for about 4 months. At first I was dropping like, I think 2 episodes a week, and then I started just dropping like one. So yeah, it's been going on for quite some time. I am feeling like so happy that I did this, and I feel like it opened up a new avenue of people who find the channel and enjoy it. So that's been great. But I feel like what I'm going to end up doing is probably like, once we wrap this season, I'm filming the show. I mean, that's what Kiara Loves TV is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a show about TV shows. Like, I hope that over time the format of this this channel will just get better and better, and then you'll be able to really see the vision that I have in my mind. But yeah, like that's the whole point of it. So what was I even talking about? Y'all, the ADHD has been ADHDing. It's ADHDing right now. Jesus, what was I talking about? Okay, I think what I was talking about is, after we're done talking about this, then I think I'm going to move on to another show just temporarily. Like, we're going to take a little break. I almost want to imitate that time period where, people couldn't just watch episode after episode after episode. It's like they had to wait. It's something special about that, because sometimes, like, while it's enjoyable to have it all at once, it's like it ends it so fast, for one. And then also, like, time has passed when you go to the second season. So then when you just jump straight into season 2, it's like you be thinking like, oh, it just, like, we're going literally from the last episode. Sometimes it's not. That's just, yeah. And also, I feel like another thing, like on a channel perspective, it's more like I want to give people time to actually, find these videos and, like, get caught up with where we're leaving off and just see where it lands, And also, because I'm ready to start talking about another show, I want to drop some more Gilmore Girls videos. So that's what's happening next. We're going to take a little break from Desperate Housewives, and then we're gonna hop back in. I'm not sure how long the break will be. I kind of want to go through another season of another show, or we're just gonna kind of play it by ear. I really don't know exactly where I want to go with that, but I do know that I want to, like, try to talk about another show, a new show, one of the shows that I've mentioned. So I'm so excited. Okay, let's get into this episode. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble every time. And thank you guys so much for your support every single video. I just really, really appreciate it. And I can't thank you enough. All right, let's begin.
Yeah, bro loves TV. Yes, I made a theme song so that I can talk about all my favorite shows. Oh yeah.
And this is just your disclaimer that this is not me talking about any of the actors themselves, but more so their characters. Please do not attack me in the comments. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, even those who disagree with me. But let's keep it friendly. All right, let's get started with the show.
I'll keep your secret, Dad.
Something else that I noticed, like, last episode, it kind of just dawned on me right after I was done editing. I was like, wait a minute, we haven't talked about George in a minute. Where is George? It's been a few episodes of just like no George. What's going on with that? And also, we got to get back to this Paul thing. They take breaks with the Paul storyline. Like, he's really sprinkled in. That's like one of my favorite things to say. I feel like I've said that so many times, but like, he's really sprinkled in. He's not, we don't see Paul every episode. We don't see Mike every episode. We saw Mike at the end of the last episode in the beginning, but we did not see him throughout the whole episode. Edie gets sprinkled in. Obviously, I think that the point, like, they're supporting characters. They're not main characters. It's funny because the supporting characters have the most drama, or like they have the biggest storylines to me. Is that just my personal opinion? Oh my God, this just made me remember. I completely forgot that he has been tampering with her birth control pills. I forgot about that. How did that I think it's just that it's so much going on. We got George, we got Paul, we got this, we got them with the house, we got Bree sending away Andrew. It's so much going on that you forget little stuff like that. I wonder, is that calculated? I wonder, is that on purpose? Like, are they purposely trying to make you forget little things like that? Like, even someone brought up in another video, somebody was like, in the comments, they were like, it's not surprising that you would forget. I don't remember specifically. I think I'm going to put it on the screen. But like, they were like, it's not surprising that you would forget that Mike had a dog because he randomly just disappeared out of nowhere. And that's totally true. I don't know where the dog went. I'm waiting for before the end of the season for the dog to just pop up. And I'm wondering what happened to the dog. Is it that working with an animal was just something that they lost interest in? What was the reason that Mike just randomly stopped having a dog? Because he did. And honestly, I'm trying to think of when the last time I saw the dog, and I think it's when he wheeled him off to the vet. So did he get put down? Oh my goodness. I need to check this. I'm probably going to find the answer after I record, like I always do. But yeah, what happened to Mike's dog? If you have not had a chance, please check out the last video in this installment. Goodness, Carlos. Paul and Zach are going back and forth about Zach feeling like he's still lying about the truth about what happened in their past. They're being very vague about it. They're still not like in a direct answer as to what the hell is going on. But yeah, they're just going back and forth about that. And Zach just doesn't really trust what Paul is saying about what happened. He claims that a woman showed up one day to try to take Zach away, and that they basically, you know, because they didn't want him going with someone that he had never known.
He'll know that I'm thinking about him.
Why are you putting in
Is she putting dumplings in there?
Fine. I won't send them, but I think it's a stupid rule, so...
She wants to send him, she wants to send Andrew lemon squares and they won't let him, and she's getting upset about it. I love that she stays true to this character is so, oh my goodness. Like, I just love that she stays true to herself. It's never like really a moment where I'm like, well, that doesn't go. Like, at least thus far. I don't remember how the rest of the season goes, but like, I know like so far it's just like, there's never a moment where I'm like, well, that's inconsistent with her character. No, she sticks true to who she is. And then she puts the lemon squares in there anyway, despite the camp strictly saying no sweets should be sent in. Oh my goodness. So what's happening is that Andrew is having therapy sessions, I think, at the camp. And Rex is like, well, why don't you come down there and participate and, you know, try to be a part of his healing journey. Bree just feels like she just doesn't want to go down there and be attacked for things that she felt like, you know, she did her best. And I feel like this is like a lack of accountability. Like, she doesn't want to take accountability for a part that she may have played, because in her mind she feels like she tried to be the perfect mother. That's her whole shtick. That's her whole thing, is that she is the perfect mom trope. And so for him to complain about it, it just, for her, she just can't resonate with why he would see a problem with the way that she raised him.
100? Well, that's extortion. There's no way in hell that I'm gonna...
That's crazy, because 100 would be like the minimum. And in fact, it wouldn't even be the minimum. You might get somebody who's just gonna sit there in the room, but they ain't finna watch them. Lynette is trying to find a babysitter so she can go out with her friends.
Hey, sweetie.
Oops. It's like, I get it. Like, again, I understand that lying is wrong, but I just feel like she was in the right. She was in the right because he's shown multiple times that when the decision making is in his hands, he makes the wrong decisions. I'm almost certain that what he's finna try to do is he's finna try to cash that check instead of just serving his sentence so that they can actually get the check. Or just in general, I feel like he's finna do something stupid. He ain't waste no time. I'm talking about the minute that the door closed. I wonder were they like behind the scenes, they were like, okay, so when the door closes, immediately start like getting on her. Like, I wonder, was that like the actual instruction from the director? That's crazy.
Because I couldn't trust you to make the right decision.
The right...
She can't. Like, come on.
We could have fought the indictment, and then I wouldn't have had to take the plea bargain.
It's all about the plea bargain. It's all about you not wanting to take the plea bargain. You committed the crime. You did it. You put both of you in this situation. You jeopardized your livelihood. You did wrong. You shouldn't have done it. Had you, like, if you didn't want to serve the time, you shouldn't have did the crime. That's literally as simple as that.
Grandma's here.
What the hell, Leon? She crashed into Mike's truck.
And I never would have guessed that you're Susan's mom.
I would have.
I got pregnant when I was a tiny teenager. It was the first time I got drunk, ever. Afterwards, he gave me 3 of his medals.
Ma!
What?
What are you smiling about?
I used to have all these questions about how you got to be the way you are. They were all just answered.
Exactly. That's how I feel right now. I feel like that just summed it up. Like, she made Susan look like she made Susan look like put together. I don't know. She's like a walking nightmare. Lynette ends up getting Bree to watch her kids because her babysitter cancels.
The right man will come along.
And see, this is the difference. Susan's mom is supportive, and I mean, she's a little off kilter, but I mean, she's super supportive of Susan versus Lorelai and Emmeline. We just already know how that dynamic goes. Like, Susan's mom is telling her things like, you know, like, she's kind of trying to put a positive spin on things, and Emily would have definitely came in and been like, you know, finding some way to blame Lorelai for how she got herself mixed up in the mess in the first place. Their dynamic makes you understand exactly why Susan and Julie are the way they are. Exactly why. And I don't think I need to elaborate any further than that.
Don't be common, young man. Now, come on.
We don't get spanked.
Really?
Mommy always says she's gonna, but she never does.
See, remember what I was saying a couple episodes ago about how, like, when you make threats and stuff like that, eventually the kids start to pick up on the fact that you're just making threats and you're not going to do anything. See, and I'm not saying she should spank them, but I'm saying anything you tell kids, you more often than not, you should definitely follow through with what you're saying.
I am not your mommy, and if you misbehave in my house, you will get spanked.
And come to think of it, honestly, you know what this episode is kind of making me think? It's making me think that they're using this as an opportunity to show how Andrew and Danielle grew up, like how she was as a parent to them when they were younger, and why they might be the way they are now. Yeah, I don't think she, like, above all, you don't spank somebody else's kid, especially without asking them personally. You do not spank somebody else's kid.
But you're not very bright.
I ain't gonna say nothing. But you know what I'm thinking.
It doesn't mean that I don't love you.
You don't. Why would you want to force somebody to be with you? Why would you want to force somebody to be with you? Why would you want to have to go to these extremes just to get somebody to stay with you? Why would you not just want her to stay with you because she wants to stay with you? That's going to be way better than her staying with you because of a piece of paper. And that's why, like, when it comes to marriage, like, my views on it, they just kind of, I don't know, like, I just be feeling like, I don't know how much, like, I think marriage has been glamorized so much, but it literally, like, there's terms like ball and chain. You know what I mean? Like, marriage just doesn't sound as appealing to me as maybe it does to the next person, because it's like, it just feels like like, I feel like if you're with me, you should be with me because you want to be with me, because every single day you want to be with me. You're making that choice to be with me. And I get that people feel like, at least if they break up, they put you through a bunch of crap and then they try to leave you, at least you get something out of it because you're married. But I just don't like, I don't like it. I don't like how grimy it gets.
Well, me being pretty and therefore stupid, I forgot.
See, and I think this is where I made that post where I was like, oh my gosh, no, I want to hate her. I think this was kind of where that started, where I started to feel like, wait a minute. She's kind of a girl boss. She's kind of cunty. She's kind of, wait a minute. Like, I might like her a little bit. Oh my goodness.
When you have a secret bank account in the Cayman Islands.
It was a safety net for both of us.
You don't want to piss me off. I know, baby. It hurts to lose.
I love women like that. I love women that are just always one step ahead, that just think things through in a way, like they're not threatened or moved by a small inconvenience. It's something about that just, it just gets me. It's kind of like Catherine from the Vampire Diaries. Like, oh my God, we got to talk about the Vampire Diaries because I will not shut up about this show. But anyway, it's kind of like the Vampire Diaries. Like, Catherine is appealing to me not because she's manipulative, but because she's just like, even like her, Blair Waldorf. It's something about the way that they never let a temporary circumstance get them down. Like, they're never going to be completely just defeated. And even if they have a moment, it's like they're gonna get back up. It's something about their determination, I think, that I respect a lot.
Bree, thanks again for watching my boys. You sure they...
This is one of the appeals of the show, these poker games, and just like the sense of community. The fact that Lynette was able to leave her kids with Bree, even though that was, you know, what happened. Like, we'll get into that in a second. But I'm saying, like, just the fact that she was able to leave them with her when she really needs to get something done for herself for once. The fact that they have they just have this bond. That's another reason why I love Sex and the City, because it's just like that female empowerment and friendship. And it's just something so comforting about that. Like, when you watch it, you almost feel like you're a part of their friendships and you feel like you're a part of their lives. And it's just really, really comforting. I don't know how else to describe that.
Oh, I had to spank him.
She said that so casually. I really feel like Bree did not think it was going to be a big deal, which I don't understand why. Maybe it's because Bree kind of comes from a sense of like community where stuff like that is just like, some people come from places like that where like it's not abnormal for either other family members or just people that you leave your kids in the care of. Like, stuff like that is normal. For me, I will be on that ass. But yeah, no, but some people that is the norm, and that's why you can't leave your kids with everybody.
Lynette, is there a problem?
Tom and I don't believe in hitting our kids. I thought you knew that.
I didn't know. It won't happen again.
Oh, that I love that she was like immediately like, oh, that's a problem. Okay, it stops. Like, and I'm never going to do it again. Like, obviously, I would still be hot because just the thought of somebody putting their hand on my kid. But at the same time, I would come eventually probably to respect that you didn't argue with me about it. You immediately were like, oh, I didn't know. And I think that that's an honest moment that she's having. She really did not know that they don't spank their kids and that would be a big deal, or that may offend Lynette in any kind of way.
I'm somewhat surprised you don't spank them. I mean, they're a little bit out of control.
This is where she went wrong. I can't defend you, Bree. I can't defend you. I can't. That's where you went. I was literally in the middle of being like, wow, such a moment. And then she like, oh my goodness. Oh no. Bree, you should have just stopped talking. Oh my God, no.
Should we put on another pot of coffee?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Because she's looking for any excuse to leave.
I mean, your kids turned out perfect, as long as you don't count Andrew. Where is he again? Some kind of boot camp for juvenile delinquents?
Oh, honey, nobody's blaming you.
The hell I'm not.
Ooh, she's shaking the table. I think what it's doing though, because they are kind of like Charlotte and Samantha, like these characters are polar opposites in their ways of being. Like, Lynette is supposed to be looked at as more like the out of control mother, the mother who never has it together. And I'm not saying that that's true. I think that she's doing the best she possibly can. But I know that like to the majority of the audience, or like what she's supposed to represent, is the mother that does not have it together and is like if you just look at other things, it's not just what she does, it's also like just even how she dresses. Like, they dress her very different from how they dress Bree. And Bree wears more like, she wears these like tailored outfits that are more like uppity, you know, like she goes to country club. She's a different type of mother. She's a different type of woman, and they are polar opposites. So the fact that they're even friends is like interesting on its own, I think. This is almost reminding me of in Sex and the City when finally like Charlotte kind of came out with it and tried to call Samantha a whore. And then Samantha, you know, was like, I'm not going to take this anymore or whatever. And like it finally just came to a head. That scene where Carrie's like, oh my God, mommy hasn't had her coffee and stuff like that. And so like it's finally coming to a head that just how different they are. And they're like confronting that issue. That's exactly what this reminds me of. That is a tricky thing though. It's hard to make mom friends. It's very hard to make friends with people and like they have kids. It's a hard thing in general because everybody's doing something differently. It doesn't mean that one person is doing something wrong versus the other. It's just a hard thing to maintain friendships with people and not get into the part about how they're raising their kids.
You don't spank other people's children.
True.
He was misbehaving. She had to do something.
Not spank him. I don't know why people act like spanking is the only that is the only punishment that is actually going to, or why people hyperfixate on like they must be punished. Like you don't need to be, like in real life when you're an adult, you don't need to be punished to learn lessons. People don't need to put their hands on you for you to learn lessons and how to treat people. People often, when you mistreat them or you disrespect them, they distance themselves from you, or they act a different way. They set boundaries around you. They don't put their hands on you. That is not conflict resolution. Like it doesn't make any sense.
They figured out that it's an empty threat. They're
True.
They're on to us.
My mom used to beat the hell out of my sisters and me, and I won't do it.
And see, that's where it's like, okay, people think that like, you know, like I'm doing this, I'm giving physical punishment and it's having this, but she is literally as someone who experienced physical punishment. Like some people think, oh, you're against it because you never got spanked. In a lot of cases, people are against it because they got spanked.
Eventually, they're going to figure out that they outnumber us, and then
we're screwed.
Honestly, I think they've already figured out that they outnumber you.
There's some banana bread in it for you if you do.
I love banana nut muffins.
Yeah, I've never actually been in Mrs. Hooper's house before.
Obviously, you haven't missed much. This is the place where good taste goes to die.
So Felicia Tillman, I keep wanting to call her Felicity. Is it Felicity? Oh my God, I don't even know anymore. Mrs. Tillman, that's what I'm going to call her. So she ends up revealing to Zach that she worked with his mother before with Angela, and that she saw him when he was a baby. It's revealed in this scene that he's Dana. He's Dana. Why would he be Dana? I don't know, but he's Dana. So that finally solves the mystery on who Dana is.
I thought I could live with you. What?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm not saying permanently. Just
talk about this later.
It's obvious you don't want me here.
You know, I need to. We're good, right?
Oh my God! Oh, I just know. Just when I was thinking, like, kind of starting to like Gabrielle, just when I was starting to think, oh yeah, you know, she's actually turning herself around and seems like she's getting better. Mind you, the last time they saw each other, she was telling John that he was just a little toy. Why would he even want to talk to her? I just want to understand, like, how did Andrew slip through the cracks? Like, was raising a little boy just like, was it just too much for Bree, or like why do they have such a strong disconnect? Maybe it's because Andrew just was more of a rambunctious, outspoken child, and Danielle was more reserved, and she kind of just fit in line. It's almost as if Emily Gilmore had a sister that was or like how they treat Rory versus how they treat Lorelai, because Lorelai is more outspoken and she doesn't go along with the traditional values of the household. She's just, they don't invest as much into getting to know her on a personal level, like the way that they didn't even know how old she was when it was her birthday. So maybe that's what this is. It's almost like we're getting, and I know that these two universes are completely separate, like they're different, they're written by different people, all of that. But in a way, you could almost look at it like we're getting some kind of backstory to Emily Gilmore. Does that make sense? We're not, obviously. We're not. Like, this is not connected. These shows are not connected. But I feel like if they would have given Emily Gilmore more of a backstory like this and showed more of this instead of these closed off avoidant moments from her, then it would have made it easier to understand where she was coming from. But because our view of Emily's perspective is so limited and so small, and we only get little moments, it emphasizes that she's the villain. Does that make sense?
I'll go with the green. Everybody loves green.
I was just thinking in my head that she probably should go with green, like most boys like green. Bree comes to this moment with herself where she starts to realize that she does not know Andrew. Like, she's trying to get dressed to go to his therapy session or go down to the camp to see him, and she realizes she doesn't even know his favorite color because she wanted to dress in his favorite color, and she doesn't know his favorite color. This is really good writing, like really, really good writing. I was so invested. The first time I watched the show, I was like on the edge of my seat, so invested in every single character, every single episode, because I love how much variety it has and how realistic it feels, and just it's just great. It's great TV. It's really great TV.
You move the money?
Of course I'm...
And that's where she did make a mistake. You should have never told him that. You just, if anything, maybe allude to the fact that you were going to do something, but you should have never told him what you were going to do.
I had to do something. I couldn't just let you make a fool out of me.
Stop! Marla, put me down! Oh.
Sign it. Sign it!
He took that way too far. Way too far. I don't even remember this. I don't remember this happening. I don't remember him yelling at her like that. And then I remember that he forced her to sign it. Now I did remember that part, but I don't remember it being like that. That was, oh my God, that was kind of like traumatic to watch. I'm disturbed, guys. I'm disturbed right now. So excuse the look on my face. I am very disturbed right now by watching that.
He only wants to talk to his dad.
I know that stung. Oh, man. But this is like where, like what I said about we needed more context from Emily to understand why she was behaving the way she was. We also need more context from Andrew to understand why he's acting the way he's acting. And I think I'm thinking that we're going to get it the further we get into it, but I don't remember us getting much. And what makes it even harder is just that I do feel like Bree wants to be such a good mother, and maybe like her perfectionism and her slight OCD, like it makes her overbearing in a way that, and this is just me brainstorming. Like the wheels are trying to turn and I'm dusting them off. I'm dusting off the dust of like my thinking skills. But like, I just think that maybe the way that she was trying to make everything so perfect, it actually stopped her kids from having a sense of autonomy and individuality. Maybe that's what it was, because that's what she reminds me so much of Emily, but it more like again, we're getting more context. She's a more friendly, like I understand her more than I understand Emily. And like I said, I just think that comes from, you know, the context that we're getting here. And we see moments like this where she's clearly hurt by but she's not just hurt. It's not just about her being hurt, because we've seen moments where Emily is hurt by the things that Lorelai said or did. But she is also taking accountability for the fact that their relationship is the way that it is. And that is what is standing out to me. God, I feel bad for her. I really do. Like, it is a hard thing when you feel like you can't connect with someone who you're related to, who you're supposed to be so close to. It is a very hard thing. And my heart really just goes out to her.
I will walk you over to Mrs. Vanderkamp's, and we all know what happens when she gets mad. Go brush your teeth, and I want them to sparkle. Go on.
I feel like I'm glad she didn't spank them. But also I like that she found her own creative way to like get them to behave. I also still feel like they need a little bit more from her. But, you know, at the end of the day, she got them to do it. And yeah, I like that she got creative with it. That's all I'm going to say. Bree is sitting here listening to these women go back and forth about their really toxic situations with their sons. And I think what's happening is Bree is starting to realize, like, wait a minute, he doesn't belong here. Or like, wait a minute, these are the kind of mothers that send their kids to these places. Or like, those are the type of thoughts that she's having. And she's just like looking at them like she's so disgusted by like the fact that she even brought him there. That's what I'm gathering from it anyway. I completely misread that. I thought she was reading it one way. She actually was reading it as, I'm done harboring guilt, because these type of mothers are like, they're drinking and they're clearly negligent. And I'm not saying because you drink you're automatically, but I'm saying like they're obviously, it's implied that these women are like alcoholics, or that they are being negligent with their kids, and that's why their kids are acting out, versus Bree, who feels like she is trying to do everything in her power to give Andrew a stable, safe home, and he still is not appreciative of what she's done. Which that's like literally, guys, I hate to say, I've said it before, but that is like the bare minimum. Like, as a parent, as a mother, that is the Not as a mother, but as a parent. That is the bare minimum to give your kids a safe, stable, clean home. That's how she internalized it. I thought she was thinking about something different.
Andrew just told me he thinks he might be gay. He thought I could take it better.
He was right. I will be waiting in the car.
Well, that explains the disconnect. So, y'all, Gabrielle goes over to John's. She ran into him earlier in the street, and she went over to John's and starts making out with him and stuff like that because of what Carlos did. And it's like, obviously, we already know how I feel about the whole John and Gabrielle situation. Like, I'm so over it. But at the same time, I feel like what they're trying to do, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like what they're trying to do is they gave Carlos this really terrible, awful moment to try to show us why she fell into the arms of John and why she won't leave John alone. I understand why she would want to cheat on him. I understand why she would want to step outside her marriage in that sense of like, she feels like she's financially trapped because she's not going to go back to modeling. She doesn't want to work. However, she feels emotionally and financially trapped by Carlos. And so, of course, you know, just knowing like the statistics of that, like she would want to step out on her marriage and cheat because she feels like she needs to regain power. What I don't understand, again, for the umpteenth time, is why she keeps going back to John, who is a minor. That's what I don't understand. Is it that she feels like she has power over him because he's so young? But even that makes it sicker. That makes it more disgusting. If that she is aware of that, it makes it more disgusting because it's like, you know how powerless he is against you. You know that you have the upper hand. It's disgusting. I don't know. I wish that I haven't seen any interviews or like anything from like the writers or anyone on the show yet. I have yet to do that. So I don't know if there's some kind of video out there where like they go into detail about why specifically she had to mess with a minor. But I just would love to understand from a writing perspective, why? Why was this necessary? That's all I want to understand. So I think this episode, they're trying to take a break from talking about Susan and Mike and Susan and men, and they're trying to build up her storyline outside of men a little bit more. And so this whole episode, she's been in this thing with like her mom. Her mom comes over and admits that she left Morty, which is this guy over here. She left him because he shoved her. And then he reveals that the reason that he shoved her is because after he threw a paperback book across the room and missed, but aiming in her direction, she kept hitting him and then he shoved her. So yeah, but Susan doesn't want to live with her mother, and so she's trying to get rid of her and pawn her back off on Morty and get them to reconcile.
Hey, I just wanted to apologize.
Lynette, the fact that you just crossed that street means the world to me.
Want to have some coffee? Sit around, bitch about our kids.
I would love to.
Okay.
I just remembered that at the beginning of this episode, Mary Alice narrated that Gabrielle would be pregnant in a week's time. And at the end of the episode, we see her getting it on with John again. And I'm guessing it's going to be a thing where now we don't know who the baby's father is. Great. It's just great. So that wraps up this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please give me please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to see if this mic, like, first of all, am I getting way too close to it? This is my little test. Test. Loathing, unadulterated loathing for your face, your voice, your clothing. Oh my God, my voice is like dry or something.